7. Life-changing secrets to building an emergency fund. How to save big, even on a tight budget. It's a typical Monday morning. Alex, a young professional, wakes up to the sound of his alarm clock ringing as usual. He drags himself out of bed, feeling the weight of another week ahead. He checks his bank account, $50 left, and the bills are piling up. The last paycheck barely covered rent, utilities, and groceries. He sits at his kitchen table, sipping his coffee, staring at the bills on the counter. He's been living paycheck to paycheck for years, always scraping by but never truly getting ahead. But today, something feels different. There's a nagging thought in the back of his mind. What if something unexpected happens? Suddenly, his phone buzzes. It's a notification from his car insurance company. A reminder that his insurance payment is due, and, surprise, it's more than he expected. With a sigh, Alex grabs his keys, thinking, I can't keep doing this. What if something bigger happens? What if I lose my job or have a medical emergency? As he walks out to his car, he notices a small crack in the windshield, and that's when it hits him. What if he needed thousands of dollars right now? His emergency fund is non-existent. How would he survive? He wonders. The sense of dread grows. He's already maxed out his credit cards and doesn't have enough in savings to handle any emergency. Alex knows he's stuck in a vicious cycle, and the thought of living like this forever feels suffocating. Will Alex find a way to build his emergency fund before it's too late? Or will he continue to be trapped in a never-ending struggle? Weeks pass, and Alex's anxiety about his finances doesn't fade. He keeps trying to make ends meet, but his fear of an emergency keeps gnawing at him. One night, as he's scrolling through his phone, he stumbles upon an article titled, 7 Life-Changing Secrets to Build an Emergency Fund Even on a Tight Budget. He clicks it out of curiosity, and what he reads changes everything. The article explains simple but powerful strategies to save money, even for someone like him with a limited income. For the first time in a while, Alex feels a glimmer of hope. He takes notes, excited to finally have a plan. The article recommends a simple budgeting method, the 50-30-20 rule. Alex can set aside 50% of his income for necessities like rent and utilities, 30% for personal wants, entertainment, dining out, and 20% for savings and emergencies. It's a strategy he's never considered. He's always spent whatever was left after bills. But this rule changes everything. Alex realizes if he starts small, even with little savings, he can gradually build an emergency fund. Another strategy is setting up automatic transfers to a separate savings account. The article explains how automation takes the decision-making out of the equation, making saving effortless. Alex sets up an automatic transfer, deciding that no matter what, 20% of his paycheck will go into savings before he touches it. The next secret hits Alex hard. Cutting out expenses that don't add value to his life. He realizes how often he eats out, buys snacks, or subscribes to services he barely uses. He makes a list of everything that's draining his account unnecessarily and decides to cancel most of it. He sets a goal to save $50 a month just by cutting back on his impulsive spending. The article also encourages him to break down his emergency fund goal into smaller, achievable steps. Instead of focusing on a big number that seems impossible, Alex is now focusing on saving small amounts, like $100 a month. With every small deposit, he feels a sense of accomplishment. It's not fast, but it's progress. Lastly, Alex is encouraged to find ways to earn extra income. It could be something as simple as driving for a ride-share service, freelancing, or selling things he no longer uses. Alex decides to sell some unused electronics and old clothes online, making an extra $200 in the first month. As Alex puts these secrets into action, he starts to see the numbers in his savings account slowly grow. It's not an overnight transformation, but for the first time, he feels control over his finances. He begins to breathe easier, knowing he's building a cushion for any future emergencies. Can Alex maintain these habits and avoid falling back into old, reckless spending habits? Or will his fears about the future push him off track? A few months later, Alex feels like a different person. His automatic savings are steadily building up, and he's adjusted to living within his means. The stress that used to consume him every time he checked his bank account is gone. His emergency fund is growing, and for the first time in a long while, Alex feels like he has a cushion beneath him. Then, one day, the unthinkable happens. Alex's younger sister calls him in a panic. Their mother has fallen ill and needs urgent medical care, but the hospital requires an upfront payment of several $1,000s. Alex's heart races. Can I really handle this? For a moment, he feels the same wave of panic he once felt when he didn't have a plan, but then something clicks. He remembers the emergency fund he's been building. Without hesitation, he checks his account. He has just enough to cover the medical bills, and a small part of him can't believe it. For the first time, his planning has paid off. He immediately wires the money to his mom's hospital, and the sense of relief is overwhelming. Alex is finally in control. His emergency fund has done exactly what it was meant to do, protect him from an unexpected crisis. But there's more. He feels proud of himself. He didn't panic. He didn't have to borrow money from friends or use his credit cards. He simply used what he had saved. As the hospital bills are settled, Alex reflects on how far he's come. He realizes that the real victory wasn't just about building the fund. It was about changing his mindset. He now sees money as a tool for freedom and security, rather than something to fear or stress about. Just when Alex believes he's reached the peak of his financial stability, he faces another challenge. The company he works for announces unexpected layoffs. Alex feels a brief moment of panic. He's been working there for years, but this time he doesn't feel helpless. Thanks to his emergency fund and the lessons he's learned, he's prepared for whatever happens next. Whether he finds a new job quickly or needs to downsize his lifestyle temporarily, he's ready. The twist? Alex is no longer just surviving. He's thriving. He knows that no matter what curveball life throws his way, he has the tools to handle it. The fear that once controlled him has been replaced by confidence. As the story wraps up, Alex feels a sense of empowerment. He didn't just survive an emergency, he transformed his entire approach to money. He knows that anyone can do the same, no matter their income level. Alex shares his story with friends, encouraging them to start building their own emergency funds and making sure they know that the journey, no matter how small the steps, is worth it.